All righty. Good to see you, Richard. How you doing, man? Appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Absolutely. Always excited to connect with you and the organization.
Listen, well, I appreciate you, man. You know, we go way back, and we appreciate you being a part of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, leaning into mentorship. You've been a longtime supporter of the organization, a supporter of me as well as a leader. So I appreciate you. And for those who are tuning in, this is our iconic mentor conversations. We are in National Mentoring Month. January is National Mentoring Month, so it's all about mentorship. And we are having conversations with leaders like Richard Cox. So I want you all to get to know a little bit more and just learning about why mentorship matters. It's super important. We all got here because we had mentors pour into our life. And Richard, you're an amazing leader, not only in the corporate world, but also in the community. And I'd love for you to just tell folks a little bit about yourself, what you do in your day job, man. And again, just appreciate you being here with us.
Absolutely. Well, I have the privilege of working at what I think is the best company in the world, and that's Delta Airlines. I am responsible for what we call reservations and customer care. And so that really entails anytime a customer has any type of issue, if they want to connect with us, Delta, in any way, whether it's phone call, messaging, email, we have a team of about 9,000 people all over the world that are really focused on providing the most exceptional customer experience in the entire airline industry.
Man, that's super special. And for someone who grew up and born and raised in Atlanta, to now being a leader at Delta, and it sounds like you're over 9,000 people. Like, tell me a little bit about that. How does that happen?
Well, look, it's been a journey. It is, this doesn't happen overnight. And as you know, as we talked in the past, there are a lot of hands that have helped me along the way, and that's why I'm so passionate about this idea of mentorship. In fact, I think you can't live a full life without being really intentional about mentorship. And my list of mentors can go on for miles and miles. But the short answer to your question is I've had a lot of help. I've had a lot of people provide guidance and wisdom along the way. And what I try to do is the next right thing and always work on today. What can I do today to become a little bit better? And I've had people that have helped me every step of the way.
I definitely can relate to that, man. And tell me about some of those people. Like, who would you say are some mentors that stand out to you that played a big role in your life as you manage personal life, but also through professional? Like, who have been some of those key defenders of potential?
I'll give you three. I'll start with high school, little league. No, I'm sorry, my little league football coach. His name was Charles Rambo. And I played little league, high school, and college. And Coach Rambo was the toughest coach of all of them. He really made me a football player. And not only that, he made me a better person. When I go back to the time that I spent with him, that concentrated time when he was my coach, what I realized is there was more in me than I thought. And he was able to bring out everything in me. And the great thing, unfortunately, he passed this past year, but we stayed in touch. I was able to tell him over and over about how he impacted my life. And it was not just that time as a 10, 12-year-old kid. It was the lessons that carried me for my entire life. So that's one. Number two is a gentleman. His name is Larry Hodge, and he was my dad's best friend. And he came into my life during the time when my parents were going through a divorce. And it was a really, really tough time. But the thing that he did is he talked to me like a person. Instead of talking down to me as many kids, people were talking down to me, he asked me questions, and he really made me think about what I could do to control the things that were controllable. And the great thing is he did that when I was probably around 10 years old, and I talk to him every week now. So he's been a lifelong mentor. So you think about, I had Coach Rambo as a kid. I've had Larry as this kind of lifelong. And then most recently, over the past probably close to a decade, Sandy Swartz. He was the president of Cox Automotive, and we just formed this relationship. He is. I told him recently he's one of the wisest people that I have in my life, and so I'm really intentional. We have breakfast now. I'm no longer at Cox, but we stay connected. And what I realize is if I can accept the fact that there are people that have gone down this journey, have gone down this path before me, and I don't have to make the same mistakes that others have made. If I can listen and really, really just be intentional about learning everything I can, then my life just grows exponentially. And that's been my experience. So those are the three. And so I've been mentored as a kid, but even now, I think mentorship is still very important for me.
I totally agree. And, thanks you for sharing that. And, Coach Rambo, that really, resonates with me as well. And, just a big shout out to all the coaches around the world, man. They don't get enough credit. They don't wear the title as mentor, but that is what they do for so many young people just around this country. So thanks for sharing that list. And you're right, as we become adults, we still need mentorship. Right? We still need folks to lean on and get guidance as we navigate all the things we navigate in our personal lives, but also in the corporate or job that you sit in. So thanks for sharing that. And, I'd love to, you've come into some of our school programs like Level Up, our new middle school program where we're mentoring young people, and you've been involved in the work. Like, what would you, tell to your 12-year-old version of yourself? Like, what would you tell to the next generation? What would you tell them about what they need to know?
Yeah, it sounds so simple, but it took me so long to learn this, and that is there are no shortcuts to success. Do the work. Listen to wise people around you and do the work. The winner of the race is often not the fastest, is often not the smartest. It's usually the person that works the hardest. And learn to work hard. Practice working hard. And I think, I'll sum it up in this way. One of the things that I believe now, and when I go back in my life, I realize when I put this in practice, it really made my life better. And that is everything you focus on, you can get better, and everything is a practice. And so I talk about this even here at Delta. I talk to my team every single day, like we're practicing. If we practice every day, we get better. And so I think a 12-year-old, and me in particular, like I realized that I went to football practice. But what I didn't realize is everything, whether it's reading, whether it's writing, whether it's interacting with people, it's all a practice. And if I can be intentional about it, I'll get better. And over time, there's this compounding impact that puts you in the position of success.
I like that. And as we talk about success, I think all of us in our different roles and different things we do in our work, you have to really think about like what am I good at? What I say are superpowers. What are those things that we're really good at and we lean into? We're not good at everything, but I think we all have different things that we're good at. What would you say, is your superpower or superpowers that have allowed you to be so successful in your career?
Yeah, I'll give you what I think are two. I think one is the ability to stay focused over a long period of time. And what I mean by that is I was stuck in my career back in 1997. I started reading everything that I could, really for the first time in my life, everything about success. And the common denominator that I read about was that successful people wrote their goals. And so, Kwame, since February of 1997, I have written my goals. At the end of the month, I grade myself, and then I write a little summary, kind of a journal of what's going on in my life. What did I learn? And I've done that every single month since February of 1997. And I still have the sheet of paper that I started with. And oftentimes I go back to where I was in 1997. And when I look at my life now, it's nothing short of a miracle. And so I think that ability to even when I didn't make most of the goals, and by the way, I've not made most of the goals, but what happens is even when I miss, there's progress. And so the ability to stay focused over a long period of time. And I think the second thing is and this has a lot to do. Look, I grew up on the west side of Atlanta. I love the west side, is considered the inner city. I had the opportunity to play college football at Liberty. What I learned in those really different environments is that I can engage and relate to anyone. I'm as comfortable talking to someone on a corner as I am the CEO. And I love that. I love it. I feel like that I am I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable talking to someone that has gone through the worst things that life can give you. And I'm comfortable talking to people that have made it to the highest points of life. And the common denominator, we're all people. And I think what people will really relate to is authenticity. And if you show up as your authentic self, I think you have the ability to engage and make connections with anyone.
Listen, I love all of that. We share that superpower. What I say is one of my superpowers is my ability to be comfortable in the suites, but also comfortable in the streets. Right. And if you can do that, you can connect with all kinds of people. And that's what life and leadership is all about, connecting with people. But Richard, I just want to thank you, man, for being a part of the organization, be a part of our iconic mentor auction. For those who are watching, again, this is National Mentoring Month. We are launching our iconic mentor auction where you can bid on leaders like Richard and others from across the city. And all the support that comes in through that auction goes to helping us make more matches, which is more important in the day and time we need, where mentorship is more important now than ever. So, Richard, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a friend, just being a supporter of the organization, being the leader you are in the community, and an example for other young leaders as well. So we appreciate you, man, and thanks again.
Kwame, I just want to end by thanking you, the incredible work that you do. And not only that, you've dedicated your life to making our entire community better. And I don't take that for granted. I'm always here from you. And thank you. Thank you for everything that you do.